Oh my gosh. Happy New Year. Happy 2021, everybody. So glad to be in the new year with you. Yay. Okay. How was your night last night? I know this was probably a very different time for you because no big no big ball drops with lots of people in Times Square. It's not going to happen, right? So, how was it? What'd you do as the alternative? Want to know? Put it in the comments. By the way, we respond to comments too. So let us know. What'd you do? Anybody still hungover? No, of course not. No one does that. That's silly. That's for rookies. All right. Well, welcome to this episode of Shiz and Giggles. Shiz and Giggles. So glad to be with you today. I'm Andrea Lyons. I'm your host. Welcome to 2021. And I'm not going to do this show by myself. I have with me, let me tell you who I have. Famous people. Well, they're famous to me. All right. Our first person, she is the second tallest person on our team, standing at 5'5". We are super tall around here. So she is an associate producer at All About Presentation. She does cartwheels for a living, figuratively speaking, but I think she used to do gymnastics. All right. I'm going to introduce you to my friend, my colleague, the queen of cartwheels, Jasmine Williams. Woo!
Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I will say, Andrea, I do think that we all might be in bed probably still at this time, but I hope everyone had a great day yesterday, going into actually probably this morning too. I'm not going to, this is a judgment-free zone. Live your best life, but I hope y'all had a fantastic day.
With your families. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, so good to see you, Jazz. All right. Also, we have with us the one, the only, incomparable. She's a photographer. She is probably the fifth tallest person on our team. Just kidding. I don't know. But I do know she is a wannabe world traveler. She is the one and only. Oh, Jasmine. She's also our tech support, although it doesn't say much because we're like, hey, can you pull up this Word document for me? I don't understand why it's not coming up. That's our tech support. Hilarious around here. And yet we do these massive virtual events. It's crazy. But she is an incredible person. Let me introduce to you, Wee Sam. Pew, 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 pew.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So glad you're with us. All right, everybody, let's dig right in. Let's talk about what are you doing today? New Year's traditions. Anybody got one? I got an old one. What you got, Jess?
Okay, for me, number one is really want to relax. So I'm going to take this day to relax and just, be to myself. But then also, I do this going into the new year and the day of the new year, but the first day in the new year is a time of reflection. So reflection on the previous year and then reflection into what I want this year to hold for myself. I know we're probably going to touch about that in a little bit, but that's what my day looks like. Oh, and also eat a good meal, of course. You want to go into it fully stuffed, eating right. So that is going to be my thing for today.
What about you, Wee Sam? Do you have any traditions or rituals or things that you do on the first day of the new year?
Well, I guess my family's little tradition is that we just want to celebrate my uncle because he was born on the new year. So that's sort of what we do. This year it's looking a little different. COVID's still here, but we're not going to talk about it. But that's typically what I do, and similar to Jasmine, I like to reflect and I like to let people know how much I love and appreciate them.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Well, I did my reflecting last night. So I tried to come up with the things that are how was the year, right? Like I try to book in the year. So that's what I do. So I bookend it on the 31st. I go tomorrow, which is today, would be a reset. So January 1, reset. I think we talked about it a little while back in one of our episodes, or it might have been in FIC, which is F if I know. That's our other video podcast that we do. But just that sometimes you have to set false deadlines, right? So mine is the 31st. That doesn't mean everything goes away, but it does mean from henceforward, I'm done with that. Everything else I have to deal with now. It is what it is right now. Okay, so speaking of it is what it is right now. All right, do you guys do like goal setting? Do you guys do resolutions? What do you guys do? Sam, what do you do after celebrating? What do you do? What do you do, goals or anything like that? Do you have that for a new year? Do you do that?
I'm a fan of goals, I think, in general in my life, but I do like to write down my little goals for the new year. I have this journal that I've been doing my goals for each year since I think 2013. I've been keeping track of it. You've got your basic goals that like everyone sets, lose the corona 15 or whatever, but some other ones I like to focus on kind of my professional life and moving forward and what I wanted, the growth I want to see within myself. And that's sort of the goals that I look at.
Okay, what are they? What are they, Sam? You don't get to say like my growth goals. Do you feel comfortable sharing any of them with the whole wide world, our global massive audience that we have? Are there any that you would share with other people?
Sure. I think one of my professional goals for this year is to do some more writing and get out of my head, because I am a perfectionist and I know it. And sometimes that's what stops me. So I want to do some more writing and really just kind of grow that part of myself that doesn't need to feel so perfect in order to actually make something happen.
Oh, wow. Well, the cool thing is that writing is such an amazing form of expression. And so it can be cathartic too, right? So it's a nice place to put your energy and put your thoughts. Jax, what about you? Any goals for 2021?
I would say, okay, well, first off, I was never really a person to set goals for the new year. I do probably know why. And that's mainly because I'm not good with having a goal and sticking with my goal throughout for a long period of time, because I mean, that's 365 days. So I was never good at setting a goal and sticking to my goal. Now that is very bad. I do realize that. So that's that's one of the reasons why I never did resolutions in a sense. This year I do have goals. I'm saying goals and not resolutions because I just like the words goals better. So I do have personal goals that I am going to be reflecting on and hopefully achieving at December 31st, 2021. I don't want to say them because they are a little personal, but I will say I am happy that I am doing this one, because I found out, okay, this is a problem that I have. Jasmine, 2021, let's do better, because this will not only help me for my goals that I have, my personal goals, but also in other areas or aspects of my life. So here's a thing that I'm going to tell myself I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with it, and then let's see how we ride out. I will say one is that this year I started getting better, getting back on my personal fitness journey. So that towards the end, I've just started towards the end of the year when, everything was locked down, because, I had a lot of time on my hands. So why not just work out in your house and stuff? So I did a lot of that, and I'm so happy with how that has happened, how that has grown and where I've gotten thus far, that I'm excited to have that also into 2021. And I'm excited to see where my fitness journey goes. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, fitness journey. Okay, I looked up the definition of two words, okay? Because it's always been troubling to me the difference between a resolution and a goal. I'm going to tell you the resolution and I'm going to tell you the goal, okay? And then I wanted you guys' thoughts. So a resolution is defined as a firm decision to do or not to do something. Okay. So a resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something. A goal, it's the end toward which effort is directed. It's the end toward which effort is directed. Okay, immediate thoughts. Classroom, hit it. Hit it. Who thinks what?
I think goal is more action oriented. It's very appealing because of that sort of like, you want to see the end first and you work back from there. Whereas a resolution just seems to be like, I'm going to do this. Okay, well, what's the end vision? How are we getting there? That's sort of what plays around in my mind.
And I feel like also with that, goals can be very small and they can lead up to a bigger goal. And these goals they don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to buy a new car. It could be things as such as I want to better my financial situation, my financial stability. Whereas I feel like a resolution is very like hard, like this is what it is and that's it. Kind of going back to what Andrea said in our previous episode of Shiz and Giggles, which if you haven't watched all the episodes, shameless plug, please do, where she alluded to setting your own deadlines for things. And I feel like that's what a goal you can kind of do is set your own. It's like kind of like a timeline of like mini goals to reach like your final goal if you have one. I feel like a resolution is very like hard, like set in stone. So that's why I don't like to use the word resolution. I like goals. And that's my personal opinion.
I'm gonna like throw a monkey wrench in that whole thing. I'm gonna say you need both, right? So I think you need a decision and you need an action effort. So you need a decision and you need effort. I think one without the other is fruitless. So if I come to a decision, I need to make more money. That's a resolution. I need to earn more money. I'm resolved in that. The goal is the effort I do to go about the process of earning more money, right? I think if I work, effort, right? I put a lot of hours in at work. My thought is, well, why am I doing all of this? What is the effort for? What decision am I supporting, even though I'm putting in all this effort? So I think you almost need both. I think you have to make a decision. And all of my coaches tell me that, like, the very first step in changing your life and changing what you want to do, make a decision. Then you have to follow it up with goals. You have to follow it up with effort. So make a decision, resolute. You have to be resolute. And then how do you make your decision real? How do you make it happen? So I think you need both. I think you need resolutions and decisions. And I think that's like so important. Just a little tip I learned from one of my coaches about making sure you look up every word so you really understand what it means. And I think that's so important because it's helped me a lot, just kind of grow. And as long as I know what something means and where it comes from, it helps so very much. So that being said, let me tell you one of mine. I feel like I have a bunch of ideas though, too. That's a whole nother thing. Like, I got an idea. I'm not really resolute on it. It's not like a decision. I just am saying stuff. And I feel like I got a bunch of that. It's like, you know what I ought to do? I ought to lose weight. I ought to do that. But I haven't decided to, nor am I making any goals towards it. So what is that? Just thoughts, I guess, just shit people say, I guess. I don't know. But I got a lot of that. But one of the ones that I'm actually really working on this year is making sure that I stay centered, even if there's chaos. And I think I got a really great chance, like a bird's eye seat, to learning how to do that this past year. But I think it's so helpful when things like you know, because none of us can predict the future, right? Who would have predicted what happened last year? Okay. So none of us can do that. But what we can do is figure out what are the things we can control. And one of the things I've just resolved myself to controlling is my emotional space and not letting the outside things around me control who I am and what I do inside. Right. So that's going to be mine. It's going to be big. It's going to be a mighty, lofty effort, mighty big effort. I'd love to hear about you guys, what you guys got going on. If you have resolutions, if you resolved to do something, if you have goals, put those down, drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear. We'll respond. All of us will. And then if anything else, if you're like me, tell us what you ought to do. You're not committing to it and you're not making plans towards it, but what I ought to do. So we'll call it the oughta column. If you got some oughtas, put those in the comments too. All right, everybody, we're not going to hold you up. It's a holiday for many. So I just want to say thank you so much to my co-host. Wait, do you guys got any final closing comments for the new year? Anything you guys got?
New year, new me. You know what? That's what people always say. New year, new me going into it. No, have a happy holiday. I look forward to seeing you all in the new year and seeing all of us grow. I'm excited.
I second that. I hope everyone has a relaxing day, relaxing holiday, and we can move forward into this year with a new perspective, a fresh perspective, and joy. Most of all.
Yes, for joy. Not everything's going to go away from 12/31 of last year until like all of last year. It doesn't go away. So I want to make sure that everybody knows. I don't think any of us are minimizing anything that you're going through and saying it no longer exists. That would be callous and insensitive. But there is a recognition that someone told me one time, your hardest day, your absolutely the worst day you possibly could have is only 24 hours. And so just keep in mind that it can get better. It will get better. Operating from joy. Joy is a choice. Joy is a choice. So we have to choose joy. And I think we try to show that here and demonstrate that here just by being with you each week is just to maybe give you a little bright spot. And we're going to be with you all through 2021 as well, bringing you joy, bringing you hope. If there's something you'd like to see from us or things you'd like to know about, we'd be happy to include it in our program. So just drop it in the chat or in the comments. Okay. All right, everybody, have a great, 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 great day. Hey, some of y'all know about this. Did you get your black eyed peas yet? Have we eaten those? Hello? Hello? Okay. All right. All right. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.